Just waiting for a moment for everyone to rejoin. Um, Apologies for the trouble. My computer decided to restart itself. So, yeah. So, we were talking about um the Ikshwaku Amsha, right? So, Sri Rama is also called Ikshwaku Amsha Prabalaha. So, in that, many great kings were there, their stories come. And uh, one among them is Raja Ambarisha. And this story is very, very useful for a lot of seekers because it has a lot of little pointers. So I'm having a little trouble with, I'm not able to screen share here. So I will just post the shlokas in the chat. Okay. And you can see them from there. So this is describing the nature of Raja Ambarisha. वासुदेवे भगवति तद्भक्तेषु च साधुषु प्राप्तो परं प्राप्तो भावं परं विश्वं येनेदं लोष्ट्रवत् स्मृतम्. So his first quality is prapto bhavam. He has gained great devotion, great love for Bhagavan Vasudeva and tad bhakteshu cha sadhushu. So why are two words used here, bhakta and sadhu? So bhakta is one who has attained the highest, who has attained that love for Bhagavan completely, who is at one with Bhagavan in his heart. And sadhu is one who is doing sadhana, who is striving to attain that. So tad bhakteshu cha sadhu. And Vasudeva and Bhagavati can be understood to mean both Sagun, Nirguna and Saguna. And at the same time, he had uh, no attachment for the objects of the world. He saw Bhagavan's bhaktas everywhere and loved everything, but did not have any great importance to particular objects. See, our problem is that we give more importance to some things, less value to others, more value to wealth, more value to fame, less value to other things. So then it creates all up. If we have the same equal value for all, see everything as expression of that one divinity, then there is no problem. So Yenedam Loshtravat Smritam, uh, he was a king of a huge country. He had great wealth, all the resources available to him, all the pleasures at his fingertips. But he saw all of it as just mritikete vasatyam. He just saw it as mud, as valuable to him as a piece of stone or mud. What he valued only was that love. And how is that love cultivated and expressed? स वै मनकृष्णपदारविन्दयोः वचांसि वैकुण्ठगुणानुवर्णने करौ हरेर्मन्दिरमार्जनादिषु श्रुतिं चकाराच्युतसत्कथोदये. So his mind was always at the feet of Bhagavan, contemplating on Bhagavan's form, Bhagavan's leelas, Bhagavan's uh, nature, and his words also were constantly describing the glories of Bhagavan. Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanu Varnani. Without any obstruction, without any faltering, his voice would ever sing Bhagavan's glories. Karau Harer Mandira Marchanadishu. His hands were busy, his activities were, he would personally go and clean the temple, and he would do the archana, he would do the alankara, he would do all the kainkaryam in the temple himself. And Shruti, his hearing, Chakara Achyuta Satkathodaye. He was always busy listening to Bhagavan's glories. Now, the question may arise, he was a king, he had his duties of running the kingdom and all. If he did all this, he is basically living like a temple priest, then where is the place for how is he able to run the country? So, first of all, he was such a good administrator, he appointed very skilled people in every position to handle everything, first of all. Then this shloka should not be seen only in this very limited literal sense, but we have to take a vaster view of it. So, Savai Mana Krishna Padaravindayoho, wherever his mind went, it is not that he was only thinking of Bhagavatam, only that particular form of Krishna, but wherever his mind went, he recognized that this is all Krishna Padam only. He saw the divinity in all things. He recognized. Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanu Varnane, his words, not that he was always calling everybody and giving Bhagavatam class, but whatever he spoke was spoken with the intention of uh, increasing the divinity of this world, of spreading divinity in this world, of bringing love and peace in this world. Here, Vaikuntha is important. Kuntha, the barriers. So his speech was such that it broke down barriers. It broke down the things that divide people from people, that keep communities apart, that divide nations. He spoke sweet, loving, kind, just words that brought people together, that united, that inspired, and that created in each person a great desire to attain that highest state which that king himself was embodying. And that is why further there is a description that all the praja also, none of them even desired swarga or anything, for two reasons. One, he had made that kingdom itself beautiful like swarga. Second, they were all bhaktas, they were all seekers, they all wanted that highest only, because the king had set such an example. And today in the democracy, we are all the rulers, we are all the kings and queens, right? And so it is our responsibility to demonstrate divinity, to live a life that others see and emulate, in creating, in living with vairagya, in living with inspiration, in living with love, in living without the petty differentiations and tribalism which creates so much conflict in this world. So vachamsi vaikuntha gunanu varnani. Karau Harer Mandira Marjanadishu. That does not mean only that one place that is a temple you go and clean, and everywhere else you throw that kupai outside and you spit on the road. No. Bhagavan is all pervading, Bhagavan is everywhere. So the entire environment, not only the gross space in which we live, not only our cities and towns were kept clean, but our uh, hearts have to be kept clean. The systems that govern us have to be kept clean, free from corruption, free from petty politics, free from all our individual lust for power and fame and so on. That is also cleaning the temple of Bhagavan. And everything that he heard as Achyuta Katha only. See, one thing is, there is what is the meaning of the words that somebody is speaking to us. Yes, no doubt. But then It is not only what we hear that matters, but how we hear what we hear. And if we see each person as an expression of Bhagavan, if we see uh, them as a messenger of Bhagavan, if we see that there is Bhagavan in that person's heart and it is from there that this speech is arising, then our reception of it and our response to it will be very, very different. Right? It will no longer have the power to trigger desires, to trigger anger, to trigger lust, to trigger all the other negativities that so easily come up. And Mukundalingalaya darshane drushau तद्भृत्य गात्र स्पर्शेऽङ्गसङ्गमं घ्राणं च तत्पादसरोजसौरभ श्रीमत्तुलस्या रसना तदर्पिते. Again, his eyes were engaged in looking at Mukunda Linga and Alaya, either going inside and visiting that temple and seeing the deity within, or at least seeing the temple from outside, or even seeing the person who has been to that temple. Mukunda Linga, in its highest sense, anything that is a reminder of Bhagavan, anything that is a symbol of liberation, that we should see, or that we should see everything like that, in that light. All things that we see should become portals to freedom. And that Bhritya Gartha Sparshe Anga Sangamam. His hands, his sense of touch received its fulfillment from what? Touching the feet of devotees. Or if they're very close, embracing them, holding their hands, serving them. Again, everybody is Bhagavad Bhritya only. Every being, every object is serving Bhagavan, some knowingly, some unknowingly. But everything is doing Bhagavan's will alone. And therefore, everything we touch with that sense of sanctity, with that reverence. घ्राणं च तत्पादसरोजसौरभं श्रीमत्तुलस्या रसनां सौरभे श्रीमत्तुलस्या रसना tadarpite. So everything that he smelled, he felt, I am smelling the lotuses and the tulasi at Bhagavan's feet. And everything that he ate, also he ate as Bhagavad Prasadam only. With the same reverence with which we eat the tulasi leaf which is given as prasadam in the temple, like that only he ate, whether it was sambar chadam or panna cotta or whatever it was. पादौ हरे क्षेत्र पदानुसर्पणे शिरो ऋषिकेश पदाभिवन्दने कामं च दास्येन तु कामकाम्यया यथोत्तम श्लोक जनाश्रया रतिः. His feet always led him to Tirtha Kshetras. Wherever a Mahatma like him goes, becomes a Tirtha Kshetra only. Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani. Shiro Rishikesha Padabhivandane. He was ever going at Bhagavan's feet. So that is, everything he saw, he approached with reverence. So that he would humble himself before the world in order to reduce his ego and to see it all as divine. And his desire was what? His desire was only to serve. Kamam cha dasye. Serve Bhagavan in every single form in this world. That was his desire. Na kama kamyaya. Not in desire for the pleasures of this world. Not in desire for all the beautiful comforts, the royal luxuries available to him. No. And through that desire for dasyam, he gained love. He learned to revel in the protection, in the ashraya, at the feet of the devotees of Bhagavan. Uttama Shloka Janaha. Those who understand the beauty of Bhagavan, of the Shastras that describe Bhagavan, at their feet he sat and he learnt and reveled in their words. And as he did all this, uh, how did the country administration go on? We said he had appointed great other people like him also with seva bhava, with sarvatma bhava, with great devotion to Bhagavan. Then those people also did the work, and as required for decision making and guidance, he was available for all that. Okay. Now he took up what was Ekadashi Vrata for 1 year. So every Ekadashi, he had to fast. And how that fast was is he would start on uh, Dashami. So the day before, no dinner. And Ekadashi full upavasa, not like us, Vrata Bhojanam. You eat more on the fasting days than the regular days because such a variety. We see restaurants these days which have Navaratri Vrata Bhojan special. For those who are fasting, they have special food for them. And often that food is richer and heavier than the regular food that we eat. And this is not like that. This is Nirjala Upavasa, not even a drop of water. Only he was breathing, that's all. And then on Dwadashi also, until the at the end of that this thing afternoon when muhurta is there, that is when you break the fast. So it is almost a 3 days affair. So he was doing this, and he had done it for 1 year, and this is the final Ekadashi of that Vratam. So he wanted to conclude it in a special way. So he said, "Let me do it in Madhuvanam." Madhuvanam is a place, one of the forests in the Vrindavan area, one of the forests of Vraja, and this is the place where uh, Dhruva did his penance. So Dhruva Ghat is there even now. Yamunaji flows through there, and this was also a place where Bhagavan Shri Krishna took the cows to graze. It was the place where he did Rasa Leela. There, our Raja Ambarisha did his Krishna Puja, very grand puja on Dwadashi day, called all the people, sadhus and sannyasis specially, but all the brahmanas also, all the general public also, whoever came, they were fed heartily. Everybody was given return gifts of cows and calves and gold and jewelry and wealth, and everything they wanted was given, and everybody was very happy. They thanked him, they blessed him, and went on their way. And finally, he was about to sit down to eat. And that's when Durvasa Muni came, an unexpected guest. Now, Durvasa Muni, we have to understand, uh, once something happened in Kailasha that triggered Lord Shiva, made him angry. He had some fight with Brahmaji, I believe. And he became so angry that nobody could go near him. Even Parvati Devi said, "I can't live with this man anymore." So then Lord Shiva felt, okay, it has become too much. So I have to get rid of this anger. What should I do with it? So he gave that anger to Anasuya Devi, the wife of Atri Rishi. And that became the chief uh, characteristic of the son of Atri Rishi and Anasuya Devi, that is our Durvasa Rishi. So he is known for his anger, for being short tempered. But he's also known for having the other quality of Lord Shiva, which is Ashutoshi. He's very easily pleased also. So he would curse you at the drop of a hat, but he would also bless you as liberally. So Durvasa Rishi came. Raja Ambarisha did not hesitate for a moment. Immediately he went, did namaskaram, welcomed him, gave him asana and said, "Please come. You must be hungry. Let me serve you food." Durvasa Rishi said, "Yes, I am hungry, and I have come with my 3,000 disciples also. We are all hungry, but just it is noon. We'll go finish our Madhyanikam, the 12 o'clock Sandhya Vandanam that we have to do at noon, we'll go do that in Yamuna Ji, and then we'll come and we'll have food. So Raja said, by all means, please. And by the time he had done this, already his other organizers had run to the kitchen and started the preparations to make sure that everything would be done. Right? So now Raja Ambarisha was waiting. Durvasa Rishi, see, there are many ways we can do Sandhyavanam, right? These days, we want to do it in a hurry. So many parts we skip. Even the Gayatri Japam from 108, people do 3 times or even 1 time only. So if you're in a hurry, you can do it fast. But Durvasa Rishi, he was doing sitting in the Yamuna Ji with a beautiful Madhuvanam around. He became totally inspired and started doing a long, elaborate Sandhya Vandanam along with his students. Here, Ambarisha is waiting. Now, Durvasa Rishi finally finished everything and came as he started. Before that, Raja Ambarisha was worried that the Muhurtam should not get over. If it gets over, his whole Vrata is spoiled. So he has to break his fast before the Muhurtam ends. At the same time, having invited Durvasa Rishi to eat, he can't eat before him. So he has to eat also, he has to not eat also. So he asked his priest, how about this? I will sip a little water from the tirtham I'll take. So that will count as breaking my fast. At the same time, it doesn't count as eating also. So those Archakas said, very good, brilliant, good idea. You do that. That solves the problem nicely. Okay. So he uh, went, sipped some water, and sat down to wait. Durvasa Rishi came from there, and he immediately understood because all the necessary rituals to end the fast had been done. So he said, you have broken your fast without me. This is a terrible thing that you have done. How dare you? And he said something very horrible thing. He started scolding our Ambarish Raja. अहोस्य नृशंसस्य श्रियोन्मत्तस्य पश्यत धर्मव्यतिक्रमं विष्णोः अभक्तस्यो ईशमानि अभक्तस्य एषमानिनः. Aho, see, look at this, all of you see, he's looking at the disciples, everybody around and saying, look at this horrible, cruel man, Nrishamsaha. Shriyon he is drunk with power, drunk with the wealth and the ego. And so he has crossed dharma vyatikramam. He has visheshena atikramam. He has completely crossed all limits of dharma. And therefore he is Vishnoho abhaktaha. He is not a devotee of Bhagavan. Ishamaninaha. He thinks he is the great Bhagavan himself and he can do whatever he wants. See, whenever somebody says such things about Bhagavan or a devotee, then Saraswati Devi will place one different meaning in their words. So let us see the Saraswati Vakyam here, which is a stuti of Raja Ambarisha. So Nrishamsa means cruel, but Nrishamsa means one who, Nr means people, Shamsa, Shasati, the one who administers, governs, cares for people, guides people well, is a Nrishamsa, a good king. Shriyon Mattaha, Unmattaha, totally drunk with Shriya, with wealth. But Matta means actually being drunk, right? Being overly proud and arrogant about. Unmatta can also mean ut, meaning above matta. So one who has risen above all this arrogance and pride for wealth, who is beyond all that, who is a vairagi. Dharma Vyatikramam Pashya. Look at how he has crossed over all bounds of Dharma. Vyatikramam, earlier I said it is Visheshena Atikramam, but here it is no. Uh, the Viparita of that. The opposite of Atikrama. So the one who has perfectly followed Dharma, who has threaded the needle, he has not violated his vrata also, nor has he violated his dharma of respecting the atithi, and so he has followed it perfectly. He is Vishnoho abhaktah, that is, he is not separate from Bhagavan. There is no bhaga, that one bhaga is Bhagavan, one bhaga is the bhakta. No, they are one. Abhakta. Ishamaninaha, two ways we can say. One, Ishamaninaha, he is the one who gives great respect and love to that Bhagavan who is his Ishta Devata. Or Isha can also mean the Devatas of heaven, Indradi Devatas. They all also respect this Raja Ambarisha and bow down before him, and therefore Ishamaninaha. See the beauty of our Sanskrit language. Never ceases to thrill and surprise. Acha. Now what happens is, he says, now I will show you what will happen to a person who behaves like this, who disrespects a great Mahatma like me, who doesn't care for his dharma, who doesn't care for his guests. I will show what happens to a person like this. And he pulled out one hair from his head and threw it on the ground. And that hair became one big asura. Now, there is one important thing to know, that a bhakta like Raja Ambarish, no? Bhagavan says, Name bhakta pranashyati. And when somebody is very special bhakta like Raja Ambarisha is there, then that bhakta can never ever come to any harm. Right? So, to protect Raja Ambarisha, Bhagavan had assigned his Sudarshana Chakra. See, one who has all the qualities we had described earlier, that is a true bhakta, one with that vision of Advaita, then for that person, the ultimate protection is Sudarshanam, right? Tasma adad harish chakram pratyanika bhayavaham ekanta bhakti bhavena prito bhaktabhirakshanam. So one who has that kind of ekanta bhakti for Bhagavan, then to protect him, Bhagavan gives this Sudarshana. Sudarshana, right vision, which protects from all enemies. What is the enemy of a bhakta? One who sees Bhagavan everywhere and in all things can never have an enemy outside, can never see another person as an enemy. Why? They don't see another person as other than them at all. They see the same Bhagavan in themselves and in that person. Where there is no second other person at all, then where is the question of an enemy? So if there is an enemy for a bhakta, that enemy only is the mind. That enemy is the possibility of ego arising in them. And to protect from that, Sudarshana, right knowledge, right vision is given. But here, Durvasa also means a bad vasana arises, creates a problem, and that Asura is coming to attack. As it comes to attack, Raja Ambarisha didn't run away, nor did he take up his weapons to fight. He just stood there, head bowed, namaskaram, just as he stood in front of Durvasa Rishi, as he was scolding him, in the same way he stood. He said, see, either that Bhagavan who I have worshipped all my life, that Bhagavan will protect me from this danger, or that Bhagavan has decided that this is the time for my life to end. And it is happening at the hands of an avatara of Lord Shiva. In Madhuvanam, at the conclusion of my vrata, with my mind on Bhagavan, with his name on my lips, what more can I ask for? I welcome such a death. And so that Asura, in the form of a snake, came to attack But this Sudarshana Chakra came, and before that Asura could strike, Sudarshana did not cut it off, it burned it to ashes altogether. See, Sudarshana does not cut off our vasanas. Cutting off the vasana means what? That surface level desire expression is not there, but its root remains. When you cut off, the top part is removed, but the root remains. The vasana bija remains. The ignorance and ahankara from which it sprouted remains, but here everything is reduced to vibhuti. That is the power of our Brahmajnana. And that it didn't stop there. It started chasing Durvasa Rishi. So there should be no scope for any disturbance in the mind of the bhakta. The Sudarshana is making sure of that. Durvasa Rishi started running. He ran to Brahmaji. Brahmaji said, I am at the mercy of Bhagavan with one. If he raises his eyebrow, he will destroy Brahma Loka, everything. Where is the question of me saving you from Bhagavan's wrath? Okay. He ran to Kailasha. Maybe Lord Shiva, after all, he is my Kuladaivam. Maybe he will protect me. He has put his Amsha in me. So he ran to Kailasha. Lord Shiva said, Beta, you have committed an offense against Bhagavan Vishnu's Bhakta. Bhagavan Vishnu's Ayudha is chasing you. Who am I to come in the middle of this? You go to him. Harishamte Karishati. Bhagavan will protect you. You go to him. Go with that faith. He ran to Vaikuntha. And he fell at Bhagavan's feet and said, Pahimam, Pahimam, Pahimam. Bhagavan said something so beautiful. Aha. These shlokas are a wealth for devotees. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Aham bhakta paradhinah यस्वतंत्र इव द्विज साधुभिर्ग्रस्त हृदयः भक्तैर्भक्त जनप्रियः aham bhakta paradhinah. I am at the mercy of my devotees. Aswatantra iva. I have no freedom of my own. What the devotee wills is my will. Why? Because that devotee has given themselves completely to Bhagavan. So devotee says my will is Bhagavan's will. Bhagavan says though that devotee's will is mine. Now we need a third umpire to decide whose will it actually is. Sadhu bihi grasta hridayah. My heart has been captured, taken away, stolen by these sadhus. That is, even as we enter the sadhana stage itself, Bhagavan falls in love with us, even as we start on the path of bhakti. In fact, it is because of that that we are able to start on the path of bhakti. And bhaktaihi bhakta jana priyaha. I love bhaktas, those who are the perfected masters in this world, and their disciples, those who serve them, bhakta jana. I love all of them so much. I am theirs completely. Naham atmanam asha se mag bhaktai sadhu bhirvina श्रिय च आत्यंतिकी ब्रह्मन येषाम गतिरहम para. They are totally surrendered to me, or I have surrendered to them, I don't know. But I don't want my Ishwaratvam. I don't want to be Bhagavan if I have to be Bhagavan without my bhaktas. My existence becomes meaningless without them. Mad bhaktaihi sadhu bhirvina. I don't even want this Lakshmi Devi. I don't want this Vaikuntha. I don't want Brahmatvam also without them. It has no meaning. Right? What is the value of jnana if there is no jnani? What is the value of Bhagavan if there is no bhakta? What is the value of air if there is nobody to breathe it? He goes one step further also. Sadhavo hridayam mahyam, sadhunam hridayam tvaham, madanya tena jananti naham tebhyo managapi. They are my heart. Sadhavo hridayam mahyam, sadhunam hridayam aham. I am their heart. Madanya tena jananti. They don't know anything other than me. I don't know anything other than them. Managapi, not even an iota, not even an atom is separate from us. That is, there is total oneness. They see me everywhere, I see them everywhere. They love the whole universe as Bhagavan. I love the whole universe as my Bhakta. And so, in that world, if you do anything to hurt anybody, not only those who are great Mahatmas and devotees, that as in our view, but any creature, then that is Bhagavad Aparadha. Bhagavan says, this aparadha is not an aparadha towards me. You have done something to harm my bhakta and you're coming and apologizing to me. Shouldn't you apologize to the person whom you have hurt? We all do this, you know. We all do this. In our activities in the world, we do 100 wrong things. We say hurtful words to others. We play politics. We cut other people's chances and rise above them at work. We misbehave, we hoard, we do all sorts of wrong things. And that may hurt so many other people. And then we go to our puja room and say, Kshantavyo me paradha Shiva 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 Bho. Isn't it hypocritical? Shouldn't we first make amends to those whom we have hurt before going to Bhagavan? Bhagavan is not a get out of jail free card. பண்ணற தப்பு தண்டாலம் பண்ணிட்டு you go to Bhagavan and you think Bhagavan will be very happy and say, oh, I forgive you. No. You have to say, see, Bhagavan forgave Parikshit. When Parikshit said, Bhagavan, you punish me, you send that Takshaka to bite me. And even after listening to Bhagavatam, it came and bit him. That he had to go through. But how he went through it, that is the thing. So if we have done something wrong, we have to face the consequences. And if we have to make amends, first it has to be to the one whom we have offended. If I accidentally hit a hammer on my thumb of my left hand, I will not put a plaster on the thumb of my right hand. The plaster has to go where the injury has happened. So go to Ambarish and apologize. He went. He ran and fell at Ambarisha Maharaja's feet. Ambarisha Maharaja said, Ayyo, what are you doing? Apacharam, please get up. Please get up. Durvasa Rishi said, please free me from this chakra. Ambarisha Maharaja starts singing a beautiful stuti of the chakra, and in the end of it, he says, see this powerful shlokas, huh? यदि अस्ति यद्यस्ति दत्तम इष्टम वा स्वधर्मो वा स्वनुष्ठितः कुलं नो विप्रदैवं चेत द्विजो भवतु विज्वरः यदि नो भगवान प्रीतः एक सर्वगुणाश्रयः सर्वभूतात्म भावेन द्विजो भवतु विज्वरः. If I have dattam, if I have given charity, ishtam va, if I have worshipped Bhagavan, swadharmo vasu anushtitaha, if I have properly executed my swadharma at every step in life, kulam no vipradaivam chet, if my family has shown respect towards the wise people, towards the Mahatmas in this world, towards the people with great skill, with great ability, great knowledge. If we have worshipped our gurus, then Dvijo Bhavatu Vijwaraha, let this Brahmana be freed. No, it doesn't say forgive him. It doesn't say release him. It says Vijwaraha, let him be free from Jwara, let him be free from his suffering, from his fever. That is, first of all, the Chakra Talwar should stop chasing him. Second, that he should be freed from fear. Third, he should be freed from the guilt that he has done something wrong. Fourth, he should be freed from that anger which caused him to do something wrong. Fifth, he should be freed from that ahankara from which that anger arose. Let him also attain this jnana. If Bhagavan is pleased with me, if that Bhagavan, the one without a second, in whom all the qualities, good and bad, of this world survive, if that Bhagavan, who is in the heart of all beings, in my heart, in the heart of Brahma, of Vishnu, of Shiva, of Durvasa, if that Bhagavan is pleased with me, may this Brahmana be freed. Immediately, Chakratalvar went and sat in his place on the Simhasana. And Durvasa Rishi started again doing some stuti. Raja Ambarisha said, Adala, you can forget all that. Please come and eat. Because for 1 year he has been running to all these places. That 1 year without eating, I have been waiting for you. Food is ready, please come and eat, then I will also eat. And he served Durvasa Rishi with his own hands. And Durvasa Rishi said, come, you also sit and eat with me. And together they ate with great love for each other. And Durvasa Rishi was also freed from his shapa. Raja Ambarisha's glory was also brought out to the world. So Durvasa Rishi is not the villain here. He is another type of version of Narada Muni only. He brings out the glory of the Bhaktas. He brings out the glory of Bhagavan at every step. He adds masala to the story. So this is the Ambarisha Charitram. Okay. And it has a very unique Falashruti. इत्येतत् पुण्यमाख्यानम् अम्बरीशस्य भूपते संकीर्तयन् अनुध्यायन् भक्तो भगवतो भवेत्. अम्बरीशस्य चरितं ये शृण्वन्ति महात्मनः मुक्तिं प्रायन्ति ते सर्वे भक्त्या विष्णोः प्रसादतः. See, every other charitram, no, two types of Falashruti, two types of Phala is there. Abhyudaya Nishreyasa. Abhyudaya, worldly success, prosperity, who hears this, who tells this, they will get Bhagavan's blessing and they will be healthy, they will have long life, they will have wealth, this, that, everything. They'll have knowledge. Nothing like that is said. Here the phalam is only and only bhakti jnana, bhakto bhagavato bhavet. That bhakta will become one with Bhagavan. The one who listens to it itself, Shrinvanti Mahatmanah. The moment that person becomes a listener, a Shravaka of Ambarisha's story, that person has already become a Mahatma. Mukti, guaranteed for all of us. Okay. So you know what that means? From today we can start living as Jivan Muktas. If we have faith, in Bhagavatam, we are liberated. That's it. After all, the one who identifies as bound is bound, the one who identifies as free is free. Now, do we have the faith in Bhagavatam? Do we have the faith in Bhagavan? Or do we have faith in our own ignorance, in our own ego? Where is our Shraddha? Let us check it out. That will be seen in how we conduct ourselves. Right? We have to keep reminding ourselves of that. And so apart from the qualities of Ambarisha, see how skillfully he handled the challenges that came his way. not only in terms of dealing with the dharma sankata that was there, but without getting angry with Durvasa Rishi, without any resentment, without any frustration, without any impatience, with great humility, with love. At no moment did he see anything wrong or wicked or anything untoward in Durvasa Rishi or his behavior. He only saw good in him. And so, even when he came to attack him with that Asura, he saw only good in Durvasa Rishi. And that vision, that Sudarshana, that ability to see the good in everybody, that protected him from the evil in the heart of the other person. Because other people say, we see good in everyone, but the other person behaves like that, what can we do? Then we have to defend ourselves. Then you are not seeing good in that other person. You are seeing the evil behavior in that person. No? If we genuinely see the good in others, it will transform them. Like Durvasa Rishi was transformed. Like the Buddha transformed the terrorist Angulimala. But that has to start with us practicing seeing good in all, every single person. After all, they are all manifestations of Bhagavan's will, of his glory, his whole samsara. The Bhagavan that created us created the terrorist also. He created the corrupt politician also, created the cheat and the liar also, created the person who breaks the traffic rules also, created the annoying neighbor also. They are all manifestations of Bhagavan. We should love all of them unconditionally, seeing that Bhagavatam there, that will transform us and the other also. This is radical love. Any other thing which is conditional, that I love one and not the other, then that is not bhakti, that is attachment. On that note, I'll conclude today's session, and next time we will see Ramayanam as told in Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you all very much for putting up with all the little technical glitches and vignas. As they say, Shreyamsi Bahu Vignani. But at the end, we had a beautiful and very good session. So thank you all very much. Namaskaram to everybody. Yontah pravishya mama vacham imam prasuttam sanjeevayatyakila shaktidhara swadhamna अन्याश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ हरि ओम. Thank you very much for generously giving me your time, your attention, your love. And I will see you all again in our next session.